Shalawam, giving all praises, all honor, and all glory unto YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalawam, CHASAADYAM, Barakyam. Peace, mercy, and blessings unto all of you, Barakyam, unto the hopeful elect, the BAYATH DAWADA, the house of David. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahawah, which means he exists or he is to be. The true name of the Son is YAHAWASHI, which means he is the deliverer. All right, and this is an article from War News 24/7. Okay, and we're in the year of 2022, the year of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI turning up, and it's well, according to East time, I'm doing this at late night. It'll be 1:20. Okay, Thursday, January 20th. You see, yeah, but anyway, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he's speeding up the time, he's shortening the days, and he's turning the spirit up, man. He's turning up the spirit of prophecy, and the earth is turning up. Okay, and all of these prophetic events, they all point to the second coming of YAHAWASHI and the ushering in of the kingdom of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI that will be ruled and reigned on earth forever under YAHAWASHI and his joint heirs, the elect. Okay, and they're going to get new bodies, and there will be a new covenant, which the law, statutes, and commandments will be written in their hearts or in their minds. Okay, so that we won't ever be able to sin. Okay, because the wages of sin is death, which means we will be immortals, immortality, right? So that's what all of this is pointing to. It also points to the downfall of the whore, Babylon the Great, and its great destruction. All right, you see, the spirit of YAHAWASHI is the spirit of prophecy. This is Revelation 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of YAHAWASHI. Worship Yahawah. For the testimony of YAHAWASHI is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, and this is John the Revelator on the island of Patmos. Okay, and he fell at the feet of an angel. All right, but what would the angel say? See that thou doest not, because I'm the fellow servant. I'm your brother. Okay, so we're not supposed to worship angels. All right, we only worship YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Okay, we don't worship angels. An angel would rebuke you for doing that. He'll correct you, man. Okay, it says that have the testimony of YAHAWASHI. Worship Yahawah, for the testimony of YAHAWASHI is the spirit of prophecy. Okay? Excuse me. Excuse me. So we're going to go into this word prophecy.
Strong's G 4394. Prophetia. Prophetia.
The word is prophetia, which means, it says, the prediction of events relating to YAHAWASHI's kingdom and its speedy triumph, together with the consolations and admonitions pertaining to it, the spirit of prophecy, the divine mind to which the prophetic faculty is due, of the endowment and speech of the Israelite teachers called prophets, which the disciples were first called Christians at Antioch, but they were Israelites. Paul said a Hebrew of the Hebrews, man, of the tribe of Benjamin. You see, the gifts and utterances of these prophets, especially of the prediction of the works of which set apart to teach the gospel, would accomplish for the kingdom of Mashiach YAHAWASHI. So if you're prophesying, you're pretty much foretelling events before that happens, right? So YAHAWASHI foretold these events thousands of years ago. Matter of fact, to John the Revelator, the Lord, well, through the book of Revelation, what you can learn is how the Lord actually looks. his character, the falling of the ancient pagan Roman Empire. All right, when Jake ruled, took over the Greco-Roman Empire, England. Okay, the so-called Dark Ages, that the Roman Empire will come back, which we're in it now, and how it's going to be destroyed. Babylon is fallen. The Karagmoth Wrath 13, the third world coming quickly. Matter of fact, the First and Second World Wars, right? The new heaven and new earth. All of that you can find in Revelation. We're living in the book of Revelation, right? It says war news 24/7. Russia will invade Ukraine. I hope it's not a large-scale war. Right, and as you can see, Sleepy Creepy there, it says U.S. President has publicly acknowledged that Russia will invade Ukraine, shattering any hope of Ukrainians for peace. The U.S. President made a wistful speech talking about a small-scale war, acknowledging in essence that the American deterrent crashed. In particular, he predicted that Putin would not want a large-scale war and warned of heavy losses on the battlefield and unprecedented tough sanctions against the Russian economy. It says, the disconnection of Russian banks from the international interbank system. Okay, so pretty much they're planning, they're saying if Russia does invade, then they're going to fuck with their money. You see, they're going to put sanctions on them. They're going to cut them off because they don't deal with the dollar. I believe their currency is actually the Russian ruble. You see, it says sanctions against the Russian economy, the disconnection of Russian banks from the international interbank system. So they're going to, so they're planning to cut them off, man. All right. It says the Mr. Sleepy, Russia will invade. U.S. President today predicted that Russian President Putin would attempt to invade Ukraine while warning that a large-scale invasion would trigger a massive response that would cost Russia and its economy dearly. Okay? It says, I think it will invade. Putin has to do something, right? Because they're pretty much on the border. They're right on the border of Russia, man. Right? Then you have Moscow, which is the capital of Russia. Where they are, that strategically puts the U.S., or who they're trying to get in NATO, which they're trying to make Ukraine a NATO ally, which is not. They're trying to make Ukraine an ally of NATO, which NATO is an ally of the U.S. That will put them in a strategic position to have an advantage over the bear, Gog and Magog. You see? So the chess pieces are being moved, all right? Pawns are being moved, knights are being moved, bishops, queens, all right? Really, it's Yahawah Bahashaam Yahawashi. This is all according to the will of Yahawah Bahashaam Yahawashi, all right? So as you can see right there, Ukraine, all right, pretty much borders Russia, right? And then you have Belarus, which those pretty much are the only two who are not allied with NATO, right? Which you have Poland and Romania. They're both allied with NATO, man. And I believe Lviv, all right, may where they may be exactly where they are. But yeah, it's always good to go into that geography, so you can understand, where these different nations are and how close they are to one another. Okay, because I believe you had Russian troops that are also moving to Belarus. They also going into the Black Sea. You also have them sending ships to Cuba on a secret mission. You see?
David, I'm not so sure he has is certain what he's going to do. My guess is he will move in. He has to do something.
See? So they're pretty much provoking the bear. You know, he said he has to do something because if he doesn't do anything, well, then he'll appear to be a weak leader. And then 10 times out of 10, he's just going to get replaced with someone who they deem as a strong leader, someone who will do something. That's just how it works, right? Wishes for small invasion. Biden went on to say, it depends on what Putin does. It is one thing, a small invasion. It's one thing if it's a small invasion and we end up fighting over what to do and what not to do, he said. If they really do what they're capable of doing, it will be a disaster for Russia. We will definitely strengthen our allies in NATO. Forces in Poland and Romania will be strengthened, right? And as I just went back to the the aspect through geography, right? You have Poland and Romania. They pretty much border Ukraine, and these are NATO U.S. allies, whereas Ukraine and Belarus are not. You see? It says, we will definitely strengthen our allies in NATO. Forces in Poland and Romania will be strengthened. Putin will never have seen the sanctions I impose. Russian banks cannot trade in dollars. If Russia invades Ukraine, then Russia will have huge losses and potential. It will be heavy. It'll be real. It will be a consequence, Joey said. Okay? And that's what this Third World War is set up to do. It's set up to completely exhaust everything that these nations got and to cause a worldwide economic collapse so they can usher in a new economic system, a new form of currency, a new way of buying and selling, which is explained in Rev 13, man, the charagma. You see? At the same time, the White House instructed the U.S. industry to prepare for new restrictions on chip exports to Russia if Moscow attacks Ukraine, including the possible blocking of the country's access to global e-procurement. I do not think Putin wants a full-scale war, he said. Putin will try the U.S., NATO, and the West, but will pay a very serious price. Finally, Joey acknowledged that there was no unity among NATO members, man.
I'm not so sure that he has David, I'm not so sure he is certain what he's going to do. My guess is he will move in. He has to do something. And by the way, so I think what you're going to see is that Russia will be held accountable if it invades. And it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc.
Damn, this nigga only been in office a year. It feel like his ass been in there forever. You know, he's just up in there fucking up everything. Excuse me, but hey, that's good for the elect and the hopeful elect. You know, out around RAWCHAA, I'll be part of that number. That's very bad news for these Babylonians.
If they invade, they're going to pay. Their banks will not be able to deal in dollars. So there's a lot's going to happen. But here's the thing. My conversation with Putin, and
This on a side note, you know, and this is just me speaking as a man. Actually, I'll just come back here, you know, but hey, if NATO is the beast, right? And you have Gog and Magog, they're the bear. And then we know the U.S. is the whore that's riding upon the beast, right? Which it explains it in Rev 17 that they gave power to the whore, right? But then these same people that gave the whore power are the same allies, all right, of the U.S. are going to turn on her, man. Okay? So the Lord could have something happen with these different nations over there And they could just say, fuck the U.S. You know, they might, in the spirit, they might side with Gog and Magog, man. You know?
If they invade, they're going to pay. Their banks will not be able to deal in dollars. So there's a lot's going to happen. But here's the thing. My conversation with Putin, and we've been, how can we say it? We have no problem understanding one another. He has no problem understanding me, nor me him. And the direct conversations were, I pointed out, I said, you know, you've occupied before other countries, but the price has been extremely high. How long? You can go in and over time, at great loss and economic loss, go in and occupy Ukraine. But how many years? 1, 3, 5, 10? What is that going to take? What toll does that take? It's real. It's consequential. So this is not all just a cakewalk for Russia. Militarily, they have overwhelming superiority as it relates to Ukraine. But they'll pay a stiff price immediately, near term, medium term, and long term if they do it.
So they're pretty much poking at the bear, man. You know? And of course, we know what this are. We know what they are. They're wars and rumors of wars, right? Just like Yahawashi said. This is Matthew chapter 13 and verse 7. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled. All right? And we see these things, it doesn't trouble us, man. It's actually quite comforting when you understand that all of these things are the birth pains that will usher in the birth of Yahawashi's kingdom. It's actually a beautiful thing. You know? For such things must needs be, but the end is not yet, right? The end is not yet. Now, we're very close, right? We see the charagma being introduced to the scene, right? For nations, we see the increase of so-called UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomena, right? Which those are the chariots of Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, right? Ukraine, Russia, the U.S., all right? And we cannot forget about Persia and the 1948ers. You can't forget about Moab, the wall spot, all right? See, the Babylonians, they're so stretched thin, they have too many enemies, but you can't forget about these nations because they're watching this too, and they could use this as an opportunity to strike, you see? For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, right? Which there's always earthquakes. And this gets updated frequently, man. All right, 3.5, Adak, Alaska. 5.0, Southwest Indian Ridge. 2.8, Cayanosa, Texas. 3.1, Val Vista, Cali. All right, 3.1, El Negro, Puerto Rico. 3.1, Cayanosa, Texas. 4.9, Nicaragua. Right, this is spirit. 4.6, Guam, Iran. All right, which that name was changed in 1935 from Persia to Iran or Iran. All right, those are the Persians, man. Okay, which the Lord's going to put nation against nation, just like the prophecy says, and we see it happening. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers, which we just read the earthquakes in Alaska, Cali, Texas, Iran. That's diverse places, right? And there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows, right? Now, there's all type of issues going on with the truckers. People are going to the stores, and the shelves are they're looking bare and more bare, right? This is from All News Pipeline. It says, new empty store shelf photos from AMP. Readers paint a much different picture from what Joey's Ministry of Truth is telling us. They are using food as a weapon, and that's exactly what they will do. They will use food to break you, to make you drink that juice, and to make you take the charagma of Rev 13. Right? Hey, that's what happened to the people of the ancient Egypt where Joseph went. People literally pretty much sold themselves to Pharaoh so that they could eat. Okay? So these people are going to do the same thing. All right? You already see people doing it so that they can keep their job. All right? You actually have people upholding this tyranny so that they could keep their job and just simply saying that they have a job to do. All right? It says back in Mark 13:8, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines, which famine is a scarcity of food, and that's going to hit Babylon hard. Okay? Because there's also, with the empty store shelves, what about the truckers, man? Okay? Because they just passed a mandate on the 15th. Right, and it distracts you with MLK, but it just passed a mandate where these truckers, they got to be juiced up, and a lot of people just aren't with it, So a lot of people are going to rely on food banks. The food banks are going to completely run dry. Then the churches and all that. Okay, so the famine is going to be very, very bad upon the land, man. Okay, and troubles. There's all sorts of troubles up here. There's going to be uproars of the people. There's going to be sedition among men. There's going to be civil war. Jacob's trouble. That's going to be the main trouble, man. All right, Judah's going to be a terror unto Egypt. Okay, hey, man, YAHAWASHI is going to turn it all the way up, right? This is from political.com. Allies wait on U.S. approval to arm Ukraine as invasion worries mount. Baltic NATO allies Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia are looking to transfer American-made lethal weapons such as anti-armor and ground-to-air missiles to Ukraine, right? Because the heat is turning up, man. And that's all I'm going to read from this article. The heat is turning up, man. Here's another one. U.S. officials warn Americans of a possible Russian invasion. So, it's pretty much like that's what they want them to do. Because there will be a third war. All right? Third war meaning a third world's war. Okay? But how it's going to happen, right? Actually, let me go back here real quick. This is back in Mark 13:7. And when you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end is not yet. Right? This is all according to the plan of YAHAWASHI. That's why it must needs be. All right? But also according to the plan, it's the least of the flock. Because like I said, while people are focused on this whole U.S.-Ukraine situation, well, you got to wonder, well, what if the 1948ers attack Persia, or what if Persia attacked them? Okay, this is Jeremiah 15:45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and that's being the 1948ers, right? Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, right? So that's going to cause Babylon to get destroyed too, because we know Babylon is the biggest backer, financially and militarily wise, of the FJs over there in their land. You see? So if Persia does hit them, you know for certain that the U.S. is going to get involved. But guess what? Gog and Magog is a guard. It's a guard unto Iran or Persia. Hey, so if Israel hits them, right, or if the whore hits them, right, then Gog and Magog is going to get involved. So either way, it's going to drag the world into a third world war. However, Yahawah Shai allows it to play out, man. It's not going to be good. It's just going to turn up. It's not going to cool down. Right? You got the leaders over there of Iran saying that they're going to get revenge. They ain't forget about Qasem Soleimani. You see? So there could be a very, very huge false flag coming in and outside the country that will change everything, man, until the Lord comes back. Right? This is Rev 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. Meaning what? The third world's war. Right? And guess what? In this third world's war, you're going to have women getting drafted, man. You're going to have all type of men, women, children. Well, not children, but, people, these little 18-year-olds or whatnot, college student, which they're in the mind of children, all right? You're going to have these people get drafted, man. It says 19thnews.org. The 19 explains women may soon qualify for the draft, right? You want equality? Well, now you can get equally drafted. Here's what you need to know. The military has not issued a draft since 1973. Still, the country remains divided on who should be eligible if it is needed, right? Editor's note, this article was updated after the amendment fell out of the 2022 National Defense Authorization Act. Man, I'm not even going to read all of this, but hey, if you're interested, you can just look it up. But hey, they're telling you, right? They already have women in their military, so why not draft a woman? Okay, so they're going to have to put a lot of bodies on the front line, right? The war pigs, that is. The war pigs, they're going to have to put a lot of bodies on the front line to sacrifice you people for this third war. All right, and this is a song by Black Sabbath, War Pigs, that a brother Gabar put us on. Okay, and I said, I just looked up, and I just did a quick Google search. It says, what is the meaning of War Pigs by Black Sabbath? War Pigs from Black Sabbath's Paranoid album. Black Sabbath is showcasing their anti-war philosophy in the song War Pigs. The title refers to the personnel who wage and carries out wars, but largely keep their distance from getting their hands dirty. Case in point, the U.S. government. You see? So yeah, it's going to get bad out here, man. This is 2nd Esdras 16. In verse 33, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So we're going to come into the time, especially when it's war hit, that you're going to have people mourning because they don't have a spouse. You're going to have women mourning because they don't have a husband. You're going to have men mourning because they don't have a wife, man. Whether they were took, whether they got drafted, wherever the case may be. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Man, call halalyam YAHAWAH BAHASHAM. All right. But hey, with that, man, I just wanted to do a quick video. I've been wanting to do some lessons, but I've been quite under the weather this week. But hey, man, the show must go on. Continue to send up those prayers for the apostles, elders, different brothers, man. A lot of brothers have been getting sick lately. But hey, man, with that, I want to say, call halalyam YAHAWAH BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI BAHASHAM QADASH. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalawam, Wakasai, and Barakyam. Peace, mercy, and blessing to the elect. Shalawam.